You know where you are. This is the Plug Podcast. That's right. Music and more with Bushy and my buddy, Metal Mike. Man, it has been forever since we've been able to talk. You'll have to excuse me. I am not at Party Rocks. I'm on location at my girlfriend's house, and she needs to change battery in her smoke alarm. You're going to hear a chirp every once in a while. Also, we have a birthday party going on for her 15-year-old nephew. Happy birthday, Isaac. So you're going to hear some background chatter, maybe some dogs talking and stuff. Metal Mike, how are you? You got to be wondering why we're on video.
Well, yeah, I am a little like, what is this, man? Because, I've always felt I had a face for radio and podcasting. I don't know about YouTube, but here we are. But, I have been dipping my toe into that anyway. I've made an appearance on Black Spinner's Circle a while back, and then of course there was I think it was the Mark and Jerry and Charles BS sessions, or it could have been a video version of Freeform. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but
Mark,
that was a lot of fun.
Shit going on. It's like, what? I don't know what show I was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of dropped this in Metal Mike's lap. That, hey, by the way, I had this political YouTube channel that I don't have the time to keep up with politically. There's just too much going on. It changes every day. And my values and views and opinions aren't going to change anyway. I'm not going to change yours. And I thought, you know what? The Plug Podcast needs a damn YouTube channel so that we could do things like this. You can see where we are, what we're doing. You can see us interact. And here's the cool thing is later on in the show, and this is why I have this pretty motherfucker behind me, Mr. Eddie Ojeda. We are going to be debuting our Eddie Ojeda interview that we did at RockNPod, because we have a whole shitload of content from RockNPod that we haven't released yet. Metal Mike and I have been so damn busy, we haven't had a chance to sit down and record. So this is great because everybody else already has all their shit out. So now they're going to get something fresh. So maybe it worked out for the best.
Possibly, man. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to, there you are. I was looking for my news story. So if I looked like I was staring off into space, I really wasn't.
He absolutely was.
I kind of was. What can I say?
What's been going on since last we spoke? I see you on vacation every other week, it seems like. I don't know how this motherfucker says he works hard because he's never home. He's always somewhere else eating food, seeing a show.
The last vacation I took was the one I met you at RockNPod. This was just a weekend thing, and it was a buddy of mine, John. He used to go to Eastern Illinois, and his cousin now plays for the baseball team. And originally Bill was going to take his new sweetie with him, but she couldn't make it. So he's like, "Hey, bro." And I'd been kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I've been blue. Last Saturday I had to put my dog down. What we thought was a UTI turned out to be a lot more serious. And she had been, I knew she was old, but I thought I had at least another year or two, with her. And it was just, there was nothing that could be done really. They said that antibiotics would not help. And it's just one of those things, man, and it just kind of sucks. Cause like I said, if you see my Facebook post and my post on Instagram, I pretty much just said, like, when that dog entered my life, I was not a happy man. I was like, because of the fact that, I come home from a hard night's work and there's this little Shih Tzu in my living room floor. No. And that's what bothered me the most about it. It's like, hold on a minute now. You're living in my house. I'm taking care of you and your kids. I'm doing the best that I can. Exactly. And you don't even have enough fucking respect for me. And to me, that's all it was just respect. To ask, because that's all she would have to do is just bat her eyelashes and go, "Honey, can me and the kids have a dog?" And I'd been like, "Yeah, sure."
See how that dumb shit works.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Anybody knows me knows I'm an animal lover, so it's not like But yeah, I was less than thrilled. And then eventually, what happened is me and the thing that should not be, we split up, and then eventually, the kids leave too, and I ended up with her, but by that time she'd already started charming me, I guess, or like she would, for whatever reason,
was her favorite. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
and
how
it
that
was
goes.
me. It was almost like, even though she loved Destiny dearly, it was like, well, you're dad, and I know you're like, there would be times where they would take pictures, and this is when Shannon was still with me, where where I lived at the time, which is no longer there. It's tore down finally, thank Christ. But uh, I had a chair right next to the door, and it was my chair, and she would sit in my chair and look at the door, waiting for me to come home from work.
Oh,
It'd
that's
be like an
great.
hour. Yeah. So even then it was like, but eventually she became my best buddy, and we did everything together except go on vacations, of course.
Right, right.
But she likes to remind me. And, yeah, I haven't been this blue since my mom died. I know it's just a little dog, but how these four-legged creatures, they become as important to you as the people in your life, whether they be
Yep.
friends or family. And she was my little fur baby, man. And I miss her bad. It's like my whole routine's fucked up. I had a
Yeah.
routine, and my whole daily routine is just gone now. It's like there's just moments where I'll forget. Like I'll wake up going, oh, I got to take Smuckers for a walk. And then I realize she's not there. Where I miss her the most is, she laid in bed with me every fucking night, man.
Right.
And now she's not there. And it's just going to take me a while to get adjusted,
I
but
get that. And my heart goes out to you, man. I know all I did was Facebook post you. I probably should have called you. I reserve phone calls for death for people.
well, no, it's
But
it's
I
fine. I don't expect
understand.
anybody to, it's like, to be honest with you, this is affecting me more than I thought it would.
Yes. Well, that's what I mean. When I had to put Thor down,
Yeah. Oh, dude,
dude,
when you got to
I
put your
leave with Thor, and because he had cancer, he dropped 30 pounds in a month. I had to put him down. We
and
took him
it's
to McDonald's. I fed him a couple of sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits. We ran around the park. And it's like you're doing that to try to make yourself feel better about it, because you know what the outcome is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But when I came home, me and Nevaeh came home, I let her stay out of school. I mean, she knew that dog her entire life. Everything
Well,
she
yeah.
remembers involved.
He was a
We
member of
get
your
home.
family, man.
Yeah. Well, my cat, who arrived to me the same way your dog arrived to you. This is a bitch I didn't want. Now I love her to death. But number 7, yes, that's my cat's name. People, shut up. Number 7 would sit at the door and waiting for Thor to come knock on it, because he would scratch when he wanted to come back in. Because I had my pit bull trained. He would go outside. He wasn't going to the road or anything like that. He wasn't an aggressive dog, so he'd go outside, do his thing. When he was ready to come in, he'd let me know. That cat sat there for 3 days in front of that door watching it for that dog. I had felt like such a piece of shit. It's like I already feel horrible. My heart's breaking, but now I feel like a scumbag. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 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 Like I said,
Yeah,
man.
my heart goes out to you, brother. I know how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. And like, I've lost other people since my mom. 2 ladies that were like second moms to me. A guy who was like a second dad to me, but I didn't see him every day, all the time. Like I said, when you have an animal, man, they become it's routine. It's especially a dog, man. And I'm not saying a dog's better than a cat, because I love cats too, totally do. But a cat's
Exactly.
just different. It's just different, man.
Yeah.
You don't
A
walk your
dog,
cat. You don't there's certain things that you do with your dog that not that your cat. Fuck that. When I had a cat, he laid on me constantly. But
yeah, but that's the thing. When a cat wants affection, that's when you're able to give the cat affection. Barring that, feed me, bitch. Change my dirty box, or I'll piss on your floor. You know what I
right?
mean? But
Yeah.
a dog, they want to be up your ass all the time. They're just,
Yeah.
if people were like dogs,
I know.
even with all of our differences, I mean, all different dogs get along. Why can't people do the same thing? Like, this dog thinks drinking out of the toilet is good. This dog is staunchly against it, but they still love each other. I don't
Right.
understand. People can't be that way.
Yeah. Well, and I
That's
think
my
with
political
this,
commentary for the day.
well, there you go. Right on, man. Um, well, yeah, the dog thought the sun rose and set on my bald head, and no matter what. And she was a good girl, man. Like, I know everybody says that about their dogs, but she was just so laid back and so chilled. It's like I said in my post, she was like an old soul. Like, she'd been here before. Like, she would just look at me sometimes, and it's like, yeah, dude, I understand. I get what you're saying. I swear to God. And she was so smart. Like, if I said, you ready to go see grandpa? she'd jump up and down like she knew what I meant when I said that.
Yeah.
When I said, "Hey, you ready to go do this?" She knew, and she adored my father. Oh man, she loved Grandpa.
That's great. That's
Part of
great.
it's
Well,
because he fucking spoiled the shit out of her like everybody else did. You know, I mean, even Bill's bummed out about it. He got really attached to her too. You know, I mean, fuck, I've been living here for 3 years, so he's pretty tore up about it. You know, and like I said, it's funny how them fur little fuckers get to be so important to you.
yeah,
But they do, man.
they become everything. I'm going to miss Smuckers because, frankly, every show we recorded, Smuckers would interrupt us.
Oh,
And I know
yes.
take his dog out when he got home because that's what a responsible dog owner does. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But sometimes she
But
would whine because she'd either want a drink of water, or sometimes I think it was just, hey, you've been talking to Uncle Bushy too long. I want some attention. And I think also it's like, sometimes I wonder if she wasn't just telling me, well, I think you're wrong. I like this record, because she was very opinionated. You know, she would do it on the radio show. I would be praising something and she'd be like, well, I think it sucks, or I really like that record. At least that's what I got out of it.
That's great. Definitely rest in peace to Smuckers. Inevitably would interrupt the show. Bushy, I'm sorry. Can we pause this real quick? And this is stuff you guys never hear because, frankly, I edit the fuck out of things, you know?
Right. Well, you got to, man, sometimes, especially if the long-witted motherfucker like myself. So, you know. Okay, all the time, damn it. But I mean, she was such a good girl, man. And you know, see, like right now, I would give anything to hear that. You know. But yeah, it's time I would go, oh God, Smugs. But I couldn't really ever yell at her though, because she was just such a good girl, man. It was like, what am I going to complain about? Oh, you want water? Oh, you know, or you want to go pee? You bad dog. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though, that dog can eat. I don't know where she put it, because she's just a little bitty thing. But that little dog fucking eat, dude. She could put it away. My dad even be like, God damn, where'd she put all that? I'm like, I don't know, Pop. I don't know.
That's
but anyway, man, Smucks, I miss you. And I hope I see you on the other side one day. If there is another side, I don't know, but we will shall see.
I don't either, but they say all dogs go to heaven, so
I hope so, man. I hope so, at least. So there is one other thing too, though. It was because I read a book a while back where there was a line where and they were actually talking about reincarnation, and the guy just said, well, I feel about it the way I do about all beliefs in religion. I neither believe in it nor disbelieve in it. And I'm like, that's right. See, that's how I am. I'm like, I believe it's possible.
Sure.
But I don't know if it really exists or not. So I can't really say
it's more an agnostic thing. An agnostic is like, okay, maybe, but show me.
Right. Right.
You know, but I used to have those arguments with my stepmother.
Oh,
you know, I'm like, where the fuck are the dinosaurs? I mean, we have plenty of bones and shit to prove they existed. You know, where are the dinosaurs? And she would get all huffy with me. And finally looked at her one day. I said, just prove it. And this was her answer. Look at a tree. I said, okay. How do you think that could grow from a little seed into a tree? Well, I was in biology class at the time, you know, and you went through plant biology as well as, you know, anatomy and physiology of a human. And I said, well, technically science has said that, you know, and was rambling all this stuff off that I don't remember anymore because
photosynthesis and
make my stamen go berserk. Oh no, that's reproduction.
Well, you know, I mean, but I mean, even with trees, like their whole root system, it's their version of the circulatory system.
Exactly.
It's no, yeah. And I don't know, mate. I'm not saying that there wasn't. I mean, I've often said for a long time, I think we're just one big alien experiment. That's my theory. I can't prove that, but I don't see where it's any more whacked out than.
It's like the end of Men in Black when it fades out.
Yes.
Earth, and all of a sudden it's a marble, and it's aliens just playing marbles with these planets.
Love it.
People.
These universes. Not just
like the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah,
because there's only one universe.
Right. It's beautiful, man. It's like, you know, I love that movie anyway. In fact, it's funny. I just did a recent interview that I'm going to provide for our podcast, and And maybe when we do that, because like I said, my brother's real keen on doing visual stuff. He can do a visual version of that. I did an interview with this band called They Watch Us from the Moon from
Yes.
Lawrence, Kansas. Really cool. Like they got two female singers, and they're like, it's all space. They tell a story too, man. It's very trippy. They got a new album coming out May 12th, and they had an EP where the lineup was different, but this lineup, man, they got two ladies. I interviewed one. I interviewed her and basically Shane 13, the leader of the band, and like it's the first album's called Cosmic Chronicles: The Ascension, or Part One: The Ascension, and they got a comic book that's coming out with it, and the whole bit, man. And it's like epic doom operas, they're calling it. It's it kind of reminds me of like Pink Floyd meeting Black Sabbath with a little bit of like Monster Magnet and Ziggy Stardust thrown in there too. I like it. I really dig it. I've been pushing them really hard. In fact, I was doing my interview, or played my interview last Friday. Not last Friday, but the Friday before, when poor Smucks kind of took a turn for the worse. She took a turn for the worse that night and then was really sick the next morning. So, but and that's the radio version, but my brother's re-edited and done everything for the podcast too. So we're going to release it on here. So I will be sending that to you to nice. Add to our content, man. So, you know, we can put it out there, because the album comes out May 12th. And, you know, like I one of the reasons why I hit you up is like, man, we got to start getting, because how many interviews is on our last episode? I can't remember. It was like 2 or 3, wasn't it?
No, just a BB Buell.
Are you sure? Yeah, you're right. Yep. That's
we did
right.
talk a little bit about Blackwood. We got their CDs in our grab bags. Did you listen? What'd you think?
I did like it, especially that one song, man. That's just total Sabbath worship.
The fucking like, witch, right?
Shit. Yep. I was like, dude, holy fuck, man. Yeah. Like, but even the other songs were pretty good.
I got a strong Sabbath vibe. Lullaby. You know me anyway. I'm a ballad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty crunchy for a ballad, you know.
It's
a good song. It's beautifully written. I highly recommend that band. I can't wait till we sit down to talk about that particular interview, because that one went really well. They were cool guys. And now after hearing the album, I really want to reach out and get them back. That was really good. And yeah, like I said, The Witch, that's the one I played on our last episode. You know, that motherfucker, they're sucking Sabbath's dick right there. Like, these are the gods. I've actually been listening to Sabbath a lot. I was in Walmart, because I don't have a lot on CD. I have the debut, and I have Volume 4 and Paranoid is all I have on CD.
What do you have digitally? Do you have everything? Okay, because I was gonna say, if you don't, I can send it to you. Do you have the box, the Super Deluxe box sets of some of their albums? Because I have those digitally. I have them on CD as well, but I can send those to you, man. They're pretty sweet, dude.
When I was joining the radio station. Excited
about Godzilla.
Yeah. But I was in Walmart for like $12. It was a double disc Black Sabbath CD. And I don't know if it said the ultimate mix or something like that. You know, something like that. I don't have it with me. It's out in the car. But I've been rocking that, dude. And I'm like, holy fuck, they do this song? Like, there's some stuff that I knew that I didn't even realize was Sabbath. Like,
yeah,
I've fallen in love with that Never Say Die fucking jam. that shit's so good.
It's a killer jam, dude. Yeah.
But no, it's all the classic stuff. You know, I mean, of course it has, you know, the Wizard and Fairies Wear Boots.
Now, is this just Ozzy era, or
just Ozzy era Sabbath?
Okay.
You know, the best era. I don't care. It's the best era. I do love the Dio stuff, but these people that like the Dio era better, I'm like,
Well, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Sure, it can be pathetically subjective.
Right. But I mean, but when I say that I don't really feel like that's Black Sabbath, that's not to despair. To me, man, especially when Ron, and then you get Vinny on drums, it became a different band. I mean,
good band. I mean, good music.
Great band, great music. Yeah.
Tony Iommi, you could see his guitar skills developing, over those, what is it, six or seven Sabbath with Ozzy albums.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear him developing, obviously, but with that Dio era.
I'll tell you what, though, here's where I think if you listen to Technical Ecstasy, the album, and Never Say Die, the album, you can kind of see in my ears, and I was having this conversation with my brother Scapegoat on the air the other night on the Metal Mike show, and you can kind of see the directions that Tony and Ozzy were taking with their music. Like there's moments where I'm like, oh shit, that kind of reminds me of some Dio era stuff. But then Ozzy vocally and some of the shit he's doing reminds me of solo Ozzy. So I think there was definitely more than just drugs and all. I think they were kind of going in different directions creatively anyway, you know.
I like that Technical Ecstasy album. It's I do own that one on vinyl.
But like when I hear a song like Dirty Women, I mean, to me, that sounds like a solo Ozzy song.
Fucking Dirty Women.
Have you heard the new mix off the Super Deluxe? Dude, you will hear shit on it. Like in the Dirty Women, there was one thing, like I knew there was background vocals, but I could never make out what Ozzy was saying. I just thought he was just singing. Dude, on the remix, man, you can hear him go Dirty Women over and over and over. It's fucking badass, dude.
That's awesome.
I'll send that to you.
I'm really digging that fucking song too. Again, it's one of those that I hadn't heard because, as I've said on this show several times, the only Black Sabbath album my dad had was Paranoid.
Which I mean,
and
he had Born Again though, man. The Ian Gillan, which was the original Sabbath with Ian Gillan. I love that record myself. Some people
I do too. A lot of people
cough, Chris Czynszak.
Yeah. No,
I love you, Chris.
Great album. I hear they're going to be remastering it.
Remixing it.
Yeah, remixing it. So I'm like, ooh, are they going to thicken this motherfucker up? Like put a modern feel on it?
Yeah,
I am very curious.
I'm looking forward to that, man, because I think that is again, that was one of those things where if you read Tony's autobiography, they were going to call the band Born Again, but again, you know how the music business is. Black Sabbath is a brand. You can't let go of it, which is, I kind of get that, but I also think in a way it kind of hurt. I don't know so much about now, but at one point in time, I think it did hurt Sabbath's legacy.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I mean, I love Tony and all, but when you're calling it Black Sabbath and you got more fucking singers than the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, after a while, people are going to kind of be like, okay,
Love that.
yeah, I mean, and I don't mean to disparage because I actually like some of that Tony Martin stuff too. I'm a huge Sabbath fan, so to me, all that, even solo Ozzy, solo Dio, when Tony has done solo projects, when Geezer, it's all under the Sabbath umbrella, and I appreciate all of it. Some of it I might like in others, and there might be some stuff that don't grab me, but come on, man, it's Black Sabbath. They fucking created we wouldn't be fucking having the conversation we're having without them. So,
Exactly. Well, like I said, man, I mean, this album, this double disc, God, I wish I had it here in front of me. Fucking, there's songs on there I flat out had never heard. Even though I have everything Sabbath has put out.
Man, you need to do a deep dive on Sabbath.
But I know the stuff that I like. Like, I know I love Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I know I love fucking Volume 4. I know I love Paranoid. I know I love.
So you've heard all those albums in their entirety then?
Those albums in their entirety.
Okay,
and like Dehumanizer and Seventh Sign or Seventh Son or whatever the fuck that album was. It's horrible. Horrible album.
Oh, you're talking about what was supposed to be an Iommi solo album, Seventh Star.
Yeah, that thing fucking sucks so bad. I tried, man. I'd heard, I don't
Isn't
remember.
It really keyboard heavy, if I remember right? That's the one that's got Glenn Hughes singing on it, which I love Glenn Hughes.
Yeah, same. How could you not?
Yeah.
But dude, it was such tripe. I don't like it. I have that one on vinyl too, by the way.
Oh, you know what, Bush? It's been so long since I got it. I need to sit down and listen to it. That would be, like we're always talking about doing retrospectives, and we really need to get with Scribble and start on this Megadeth one that we were talking about. We got to get on that, man.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I tell you what, because of that, I'm actually asking my girl to grab that CD so I can tell you exactly what it is. Why don't we just say fuck it and get into the news?
Let's do this, man.
It's time for Metal News.
All right, that's right. It is time for Metal News, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you since it dropped. You and I were both of the same opinion originally. We loved Lux Eterna, that Suicide Scream or whatever the fuck that song is. We didn't like that shit. It was way too fucking loady. I didn't even listen to the third single. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you. The album is dropped, and you've had a chance to listen.
Yeah, I listened to it on the weekend when we went up to Eastern Illinois, Charleston, Illinois. It wasn't a vacation. It was a fucking weekend trip, dude.
I saw Charleston. I was like, this motherfucker's in South Carolina. Bitch didn't think to wave as he was going by.
Do you really think I would not reach out to you if I was in your neck of the woods? Come on now.
I would hope so.
Okay.
So yeah, 72 seasons dropped, and I was. Look, first of all, let me tell you what I thought. I have said this. I think it was Mark and Jerry with Charles bullshit sessions. But again, I apologize for the background. So I get this album, and dude, that opening track, 72 Seasons. I was like, oh, okay. So maybe that Screaming Suicide or whatever the fuck that song is.
So you like the opening track?
Dude, I love 72 Seasons. What a good fucking song. And then the second song started. I got halfway through. This is how much I liked it. I don't remember the names of the songs. I'm going to have to pull them all up.
I've got it right here. I can tell you. Shadows Follow.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't dig it. It got to the third song. I got about a quarter in, and I turned the album off. I was disgusted. And then I was like, fuck, I've got to listen to this record. So I go to second time, and I make it all the way up to Lux Eterna, and I am not having a good time. I turn it off again. It took me 3 times to listen to this fucking record, and it was work. It was work. And I don't know if it was because everybody was shit talking the Megadeth albums so much that I still listen to at least once a week or so, because I think it's just that fucking good. I don't know if it was everybody doing that, and Mega Who and blah, 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 like they always try to do. I'm like, no, this is Metallica. And for me, their last good album was the Black Album. That was their last good album. The last great album was Justice, even though there wasn't any bass in the fucking thing. Last good album was the Black Album. Then Hardwired comes out. Yes, we're going to skip all the other shit because Hardwired comes out and it's like, oh, fuck. We're finally getting an album that sounds like Metallica. When Lux Eterna came out, what did I say, man? I sang praises. I was like, fuck, all this shit people have been talking about Lars. God, they're fucking wrong. This is a great song. I have hope for this Metallica album. Uh-oh, watch out, Dave. Was really what I was thinking. Even though the riff to We'll Be Back smoked Lux Eterna, I was like, this is chugging fucking fast down picking goddamn Metallica. I don't like this album. I like 4 songs.
Okay.
When I listened through it, I liked 4 songs. I make it an EP. It'd probably still be LP length. You know what I mean? And that's my other thing. Fuck Prog-Talica. That last track, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida or whatever the fuck it is. Dude, why? Why? Everybody bitches about Maiden doing long songs. Why do these cocksuckers get a pass? And it's not that I don't like long Metallica songs, because in Justice for All, every song was at least 7 or 8 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, irritated. Don't like. And I also hate because people say, man, this album rocks. You're right. This album rocks. It does not thrash. The sick and the dead thrashes.
No.
And I'm sick of motherfuckers giving them a pass because they grew up on Load and think that those songs, You Ain't My Bitch, are good Metallica songs. Do I dig it? Is it catchy? Yes, I'll give them credit for writing it. But fuck you, that's not a Metallica song.
Fair enough, man. All right. And you're on the same boat that my brother.
About 72 seasons.
You're not. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to tell anybody they're wrong. Number one, because it's all subjective, and we are pathetically subjective here.
Pathetically so.
Pathetically so.
Pathetically
subjective.
Thank you, Nick the Dick. Begged your mom last night. There we go. I got a Rock and Metal Combat podcast joke.
So I guess when you do this on YouTube, is it going to show both of us like on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just like it does with like Team Viewer or whatever.
Yeah, we'll be split
we do. Yeah, like we do with when we do because I think that's what Black Spinner Circles use. I think they use Team Viewer. But anyway, I'm sorry.
They use StreamYard, but
my big brother Scapegoat hates.
Let me say, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me say, ladies and gentlemen, that my co-host is old. You can see the gray in his beard compared to my beautiful brown and whatever other colors are in there.
For fuck's sake.
He doesn't understand the technology.
Fuck you.
Oh God. No, let me know your thoughts on 72 seasons.
Okay, well, first of all, I was going to give you my brother's. He's kind of in the same boat you are. He does not like this record at all. He hates James's vocals. He doesn't, he hates the production, which, I mean,
I think the production is pretty good.
And yeah, I don't think the production is bad at all. Now, I've only listened to the whole album in its entirety once, and that was on the way
I'm
to
not going to do it again.
Yeah, on Charleston, Illinois, and we played Overkill's new album because again, I'd heard a few songs, but I hadn't heard the whole album. Number one, I'm going to say it right now.
Listen to that. I have it. Still haven't listened to it.
Well, you need to. It fucking smokes this. Overkill smokes this. Okay, I'm going to say that right now.
Damn, Dr. Fuck does not like the new Overkill.
I don't. And again, I love you, Ralph, but I don't get it. I think the new Overkill. I don't think Overkill's ever put out a bad record though. And I know, I think with him, they're going through the motions, yada, yada. Well, look, Overkill's one of those bands where, and here's the thing with every band, that every artist that's had any time around, it's a fucking fine line, man. Us fans, we're sometimes hard to please because you get people who, if you experiment, well, oh, fuck, man, that doesn't sound like such and such. Fuck this record, right? And I've been guilty of that. Then you have your fucking fans that are like, oh God, every album sounds the exact same thing. It's the same thing, Yeah.
Just to interrupt you real quick, I apologize.
Yeah, go ahead.
Black Sabbath, the Ultimate Collection.
Oh, okay.
Disc 1, Paranoid, Never Say Die, Iron Man, Black Sabbath, Children of the Grave. Probably one of the greatest riffs ever written. Fairies Wear Boots, Changes, Rat Salad, Sweet Leaf, War Pigs, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Hole in the Sky. Never heard it, love it. Symptom of the Universe, Spiral Architect, Rock and Roll Doctor. Love that one. This 2, Dirty Women, Evil Woman, Don't Play Your Games with Me, Hard Road, Lord of this World, Into the Void. Love that song. Behind the Wall of Sleep. Love that song. Snowblind, Tomorrow's Dream, The Wizard, NIB, Electric Funeral, Embryo. Love that motherfucker. Killing Yourself to Live, Am I Going Insane, Wicked World, and It's All Right.
Wow, that's weird that they got Embryo
like
there because that's pretty cool though, man. A nice compilation. The track. Huh?
I said it's not bad. And like I said, there's songs on there I never heard. I got it because I like Sabbath.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Am I a nut swinger like some people? No. I haven't done a deep enough dive. You know what I mean? But as I've been listening to this motherfucker, let me tell you this, Metal Mike. Let me tell you this, Dr. Fuck.
Oh.
I understand why this is your favorite metal band. I understand why they take the spot above Kiss, even though Kiss was a huge influence on all of us. I get it, because Kiss is my all-time favorite band. But after listening to some of these songs I'd never heard before, I definitely got to deep dive it.
Oh, for sure, man. We should do a Sabbath retrospective sometime, man. That would be fun.
Force me to listen to them.
Huh?
Back to Metallica 72 seasons. I said, force me to listen to them.
Yeah, for real. Because I think you would be. I think you would be.
What that dumb bitch say in Bret Michaels' Rock of Love when she was drunk as fuck, slurring and couldn't stand up. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh, good Lord.
That bitch was a slut.
All right.
Oh, you didn't see that show?
No, I didn't watch that fucking show. Why'd I watch a show with the fucking singer of a band I don't like? Come on now. Okay. That's right. No, I should get a cheer and applause behind that.
An applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fuck
Thank
your
you.
applause.
All right. But yeah, my brother was not a big fan of this album at all. I've only heard it once. Now there's certain tracks like Screaming Suicide. I give that song the finger.
Fuck that Lodi fucking song.
And it broke my heart when I found out that Robert Trujillo co-wrote it. I'm like, really? Because I don't like that song. There's another song, the one that has the intro that's way too long. I think it's, fuck, I can't remember. It could be I don't know. I can't remember which one it was.
How good this album is. I don't remember it either.
Maybe it was it was If Darkness Has a Sun. That song didn't really grab me either. 72 Seasons I did like. Now, right off the bat, this is not really a thrash metal album. But I'm not going to put it in the load and reload category for one reason. I think the load and reload albums was them tracing trends. With this, I know I heard some Iron Maiden in this. I'm talking the album. I heard some Sabbath. Laugh if you want, but You Must Burn. Total Sabbath worship, in my opinion. I mean, I'm like, whoa, man, that's a really thick, sludgy, dare I say sludgy riff. And that closing track, Inamorata.
Fuck that song, dude. Dude,
But
if you like that song.
I didn't think it was that bad. I'm also reading the lyrics.
Metallica.
I was reading the lyrics because Bill had the CD on the way down. I like Lux Eterna. I like 72 Seasons a lot. I really did like You Must Burn. It's kind of hard for me to recall. Most of the songs, I was like, I guess I'm just going to say not bad. I'm going to say what Charles did, Charles Trainer, when, I guess they had the album where you could take it and put whatever lettering you want. It's the album cover, and he put mediocrity. Yeah, It's mediocre. I mean, there's some good songs on here. It's not awful. I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be, but I don't think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, because some of the shit I was reading was insane. I mean, when you got motherfuckers trying to say, oh, it's the best thing since Master Puppets. Whatever you're smoking, please stop. But I mean, come on, come on.
Hardwired, maybe. I mean, I would still give the edge to.
I think Hardwired's a better record. I think Hardwired's a more cohesive record. It's a more thrashier record, at least in parts. I like Hardwired better. I like Hardwired better. Bill likes Hardwired better. He really liked this record. There's only 2 songs that he didn't like. But but he didn't. Again, I'm just like, okay, not bad.
It's like I'm not bashing on the record, but come on, listen.
Well, you kind of are.
The second coming of fucking Christ,
right? And
this is not. This is Metallica. They show there's parts in this album where they show, hey, we're Metallica.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And then there are some parts where like, no, we're Load-Talica. And then there's fucking Rush-Talica, and you could suck my dick. That song's horrible. And I'm like, fuck you.
Well, look, man, I only heard it one time. I'm in the car. I'm reading the lyrics. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I could an 11-minute, 10-second song. I'm like, wow. But I don't understand. But then again, like even when some of the first singles were coming out, people were going ape shit over If Darkness Had a Sun and Screaming Suicide, and I didn't really care for either of those songs. Lux Eterna I liked. 72 Seasons, not bad, but the first time I heard it was because I got so
See, I dig
discouraged from, but
72
did you
seasons.
like it? Did you hear it when it come out? Because I think 72 Seasons was the 4th single.
No.
Yeah, it was the 4th single of the album. And I
No,
just
I
think
told you, after I heard that stupid Suicide song, I was like, no, I ain't listening to no more of this. They're low. They tease me with Lux Eterna, make me think you're going to have a fucking thrash album. And
yeah.
then fucking suicide me. And
But
that's
and
what you
that
did.
okay.
Suicided.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey,
But you
fucking
know what?
Epstein.
It's still better than goddamn Load and Reload. See, that's my thing. If you're going to compare it, and I got to be fair, is this anything close to the first 4 or 5 albums? Fuck to the no. Is this? But is it better than Load and Reload and Saint Anger? Yeah. Is it as good as Hardwired? No. In my
Saint
opinion, it's
Anger,
not.
I've never listened to. Load and Read.
Oh,
I do like a few songs from each of those albums. So what you're saying is, if nothing else, this is up to par with
maybe.
Load and
I
Reload.
like
And
it better than Load and Reload. There's only one goddamn song off Load I like. One.
I'm just saying,
No,
there's
wait.
there's
2.
a couple.
And there ain't no goddamn songs off Reload. Reload is a hunkin' pile of fucking dog shit, man. I
Fuel
fucking
rocks,
hate that.
dude.
Fuel
I love
fuck is fuel. Fuck that song, man. Fuck that song and fuck that album.
I love Fuel.
I hate that because James. That's another thing I noticed about this album, though. People can call me crazy, but I think James is experimenting with his vocals. He's seen it in ways that I've never really heard him do before. To me, like this isn't your Eeyore James. Thank God. He ain't doing that shit in this. And thank Christ. You know, but he is doing some things where I hear a lot of like new woblum in this album. I even hear some people may call me nuts, but Bill said it too. I even hear some power metal elements on this album.
Oh.
But does that mean I love it? No, I'm not saying, yeah, fucking 72 Seasons rule. No, I am not one of those guys.
Power Metallica either.
Huh? Power Metallica? Is that what you call it?
I don't want to hear any Power Metallica. I don't want to hear any fucking Rush Metallica. I want to hear fucking Metallica.
Okay, all right, man. Man, you're getting awfully hostile about this record. God,
I'm so sick of people praising this like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
There are a lot of people that are doing that, Bushy. I will agree with you on that. And I just rolled my eyes sometimes. And I think it's one reason why it took me so long to listen to this record is because I was almost like, oh, fuck, this is going to be another low. It's going to be another reload. It's going to piss me the fuck off. This record didn't piss me off. But does that mean I love it? No, I don't love it. But there are some songs I do like. And like you said, there's moments where I'm like, ooh, nice riff there. Or, ooh, I like that. You know, like, look, anybody, can I just be blunt here? When it comes to these legacy acts, including all of them, as much as I like Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, as much as I love Dystopia, nothing.
No peace cells or fucking.
Fuck no, and it's not going to be anybody that's expecting any of these legacy bands, especially the ones that have got
still good.
Yes, I'm not debating you on that, but let's be honest, Megadeth hasn't had a flawless discography either, Bush. They put out a lot of dog shit too. You know, you get me started. No, they did.
God, I can't wait till we do that second episode. That first episode's going to be a love fest. That second one's going to be because Mike's going to have to listen to Euthanasia again.
Yeah, fuck that record. Anyway, my point that I'm trying to make is, you know, any of these legacy bands, unless you're somebody who, like an Overkill, a Testament, a Death Angel, bands like that, you're not going to get like, it's like, okay, here's another thing. I think some people misconstrued me. When I say I liked Ozzy's Patient Number 9, yeah, I like it.
I love that album.
I like it. I liked it. There were some cool songs on it. It was a pleasant surprise because I hated Ordinary Man, and you know that.
Ordinary Man too.
You're crazy. God,
I just went back and listened to that. And I'm like,
fucking record sucks, dude.
I don't understand what people are hating on.
That album just.
Maybe I'm kind of an Ozzy nut swinger because I love all the solo era stuff, dude. And I think Diary of a Madman is probably one of the most perfect albums.
It is. It is a perfect album, but you're okay.
Even that other stuff, Ultimate Sin and No More Tears, and
Ozzy had a hell of a run. Okay, I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not as critical of certain albums like everybody. There's a lot of people. Oh, after No More Tears, no, I'm not one of those people. Okay, let's just put that out. But anybody that expects Ozzy to do another Diary, okay, here's a perfect example. It's not going to happen, okay? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Do that once. I mean, Led Zeppelin 4, that happens once. Paranoid happens once. You know, Diary happens once. So with Ozzy, he lucked out twice.
Yeah. I mean,
because
you know,
Paranoid and Diary.
Right. Okay, there you go. So for me, it's not. I guess I don't want to say I'm giving Metallica a pass because I'm not. I mean, we all know how critical I've been of them. But if I'm going to compare this album to their whole body of work,
Load.
better than Load.
Load.
Better than Load. Better than Load. Because here, okay, you got a 7-minute, 39-second, 72 Seasons. Then 7 minutes and 3 with You Must Burn. And then 11:10. That's the only really, really long songs on this record. If I go to Load, there's songs that I know fucking go forever, man. And they're boring and they fucking suck. Okay?
Like
they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, I like that better than fucking Load. At least it's heavy. At least it's Sabbathy. Is it a little long? Yeah, I'll grant you on that. They kind of drag it on when James keeps repeating the same chorus over and over. I'm not going to lie about that. But again, it's better than Load. Now, do I like this better than The Sick, The Dying, and the Dead? Fuck to the no. No, I don't.
Okay.
And I do think that some people do. They do give Metallica a pass. They do. I don't.
Pass every time.
Because they're Metallica.
Yes.
You know what? And it's kind of like
arguably the biggest metal band in the world.
Yes.
Toss it up
look, I said it on the Decibel Geek when I guested, and we did the classic era, and I said at the end of it, the thing that amazed me.
Episode, by the way, great episode.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, and Chris and Aaron were great, and I'd love to be on their podcast again. But it was an honor. The one thing I always said about it is Metallica didn't do anything differently than a lot of their predecessors before them. The only difference is, like when Kiss strayed, it ended up hurting them ultimately, almost killing the band. When Alice Cooper strayed, it hurt his career. When a lot of bands do that, it does. But for some reason with Metallica,
Cooper strayed, he was always weird.
No, dude, I'm sorry, but Zipper Catches Skin is a weird fucking record. That era, the blackout era, as he calls it. Yeah, I bet he blacked out. He just wants to black out. That's well and good, Bushy, but it was not commercially successful. He lost listeners. He lost fans.
Okay, so that's
People
what we're talking about.
Paying attention. Right. Yeah, Metallica did the same thing.
Both of those bands
can put out whatever.
They picked up a whole different. Yeah, because they put out an album that the diehards, and I mean the diehards, because I was not a diehard, but the diehards fucking left. The guys that discovered Metallica because of the one video, not the one video, but the one video. We were like, oh, this is different, but some of it's not bad. Until you went back and listened to those first fucking 4 albums before. Or first 3 albums before Justice
we
came
say
out.
All the time. We say it all the time. The Decibel Geeks say it all the time. Decibel Geek guys, Rock and Metal Combat podcast guys. Timeline is everything, and it's so true, dude. Even with you and me, like you got to remember. I mean,
you're an old man. Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, I am. I'm an old guy. But you know what? I was born the year metal was born, so I fucking rule. Okay, so
he's old enough to get the free senior coffee. Okay, I'm just saying at McDonald's.
Am I really?
Yeah.
How old you got to be?
I think 50.
Oh, all right. I might have to start going to McDonald's more often. So anyway,
now it might be 55, which means you got another couple years, right?
Yeah, a couple years. Yeah. So anyway, fuck you. So anyway, that's 3 years. Actually, a little less than 3. I'll be 53 this October. Yeah. So anyway, moving on.
Yeah, 72 seasons. Pop or flop? How about that? Pop or flop? 72 seasons. Pop or flop? It's a fucking flop, man. Just admit it, Metal Mike. 4 songs. That's all I like off Load.
See, you're kinder to those records than I am. I think those records suck fucking ass.
Right,
I think Load lived up to its name.
Yeah.
A load of shit, and then they gave us a reload of it. Thanks, James. Thanks, Lars.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say pop or flop, man. I mean, like I said, there was things about it I liked, but I've only listened to the record one time. I'm going to listen to it a few more times. But do I like it better than Megadeth's latest? No, I don't. And there is sometimes where I got to wonder, like if that Megadeth, if those Megadeth albums had Metallica on the fucking as the logo, I have to wonder. I know people are going to get offended when I say that, but it makes me wonder, like, what would their reaction be? You know, because it just seems to me that there are some people, oh, it's fucking great because it's Metallica. Well, I'm not that way with anybody, guys. I'm sorry, you know, and like, look, you got your Kiss tards that think everything's great. You do. But the difference is, yeah, but dude, like, again, when Kiss fucking, again, you may love The Elder, but that album was a fucking bomb. It was a flop. Yeah, it was you know, and that's my point, where to me, Metallica's just done as weird as shit. But yet, those albums sell for some reason. Like, it's like Metallica can put out whatever.
I don't understand.
Who?
Maiden.
Yeah, Maiden too, man.
Maiden, like they like only play stadiums for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah, they're still a big deal, man. But and I mean, look, guys, we love Metallica, we love Iron Maiden. We're not, but we're just, you know.
Can we admit Senjutsu is not a good record? I've listened to it in its entirety once because I don't like progressive music. I don't like prog at all.
This guy's the anti-prog guy.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. I don't like Dream Theater. The only song I like by them is that Pull Me Under. It's like 4 minutes. That's enough. That's enough. You don't need to play for 45 minutes. There's a reason I don't like the Grateful Dead live. Now, albums, the Grateful Dead, not bad. I get it. I understand the attraction. I get it.
Never got
it's not
Dad.
Bad. It's not bad.
It's background music to me, though.
To listen to these motherfuckers play for 45 minutes because they're spaced out, fucking tripping on acid. I don't care. Yeah. Jimi Hendrix didn't play that long, and he was doing the same shit.
Better, much better.
I mean the acid, tripping out. But he didn't play.
He did that better too.
One song.
No.
Ugh. Fuck the Dead live. Love them on the albums though. Everything I've heard. Record-wise, I'm like, oh, I dig it.
There's kind of a couple cool songs, but I've never got the Dead. It's a drug thing. They could be listening to the Monkees and going, "Oh my God, how brilliant!" Whatever. Anyway, I
will definitely never say the Grateful Dead are fucking brilliant.
I don't want to play like I'm being in the middle, but I didn't hate the record. I didn't love it, but there was some stuff I did like about it, and I'm gonna have to listen to it a few more times. But do I like it better? I don't even like it better than Hardwired. I thought Hardwired was so in a way, the album, I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't somewhat of a disappointment because I really liked Hardwired and I was kind of hoping that this was going to be more of that. I'm not going to lie. This is not Hardwired. This is different. This is definitely different, man. And if you read the lyrics, I know they say that it's more of a theme album than a concept album, but man, if you listen to read some of the lyrics, man, it's really dark lyrics on this shit. And I think part of it's because of James and his divorce. Do
not make the same argument Mark Taylor made. Don't fucking do it. Oh, you gotta read the lyrics. I'm like, I listen to a lot of shit that I don't care about the lyrics.
Okay, dude. Okay, Bill.
And I don't want fucking James Hetfield pouring out his soul. Oh, I want to hear fucking Metal Militia.
Don't we all?
Metal.
Yeah, don't we all?
It's fucking Metallica. I wanted to hear Peace Sells, and I got really close with the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. That's all I'm going to say. Mic drop.
I'm not going to go that fucking far. I like Sick, the Dying, the Dead. It's a good record. It's a good, solid record. There's some great
title.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's a good record, dude. I'm not knocking it, but Peace Sells? Really? Okay.
I said it's the closest thing to Peace Cells we've had, because think about it, Rust in Peace was nothing like Peace Cells. And that is like probably the greatest thrash metal album of all fucking time.
You can make that argument. I mean, I've got a book. You know they wrote a book about Rust in Peace. They wrote a book about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's that good.
They wrote a book about Rain and Blood, too. So, yeah.
Seasons in the Abyss is better.
Well, I'm just telling you, man. If you're talking pure fucking thrash, Seasons is not pure thrash. Seasons to me, sonically, is, hey, let's take Rain and Blood and South of Heaven and smash them together. Boom. That's what you got. And it's a great record. I love Seasons. I'm not knocking it at all.
That's another thrasher piece.
Yeah, but Rain and Blood is just total fucking beat you in the fucking face, bludgeon you to death thrash. Okay, I'm sorry, it is.
Heaviest thing I've ever heard for the time. Because there's stuff out there today that's so much heavier with, the different distortion and digital effects and such. But for the time, heaviest thing I ever heard.
Right. So anyway, let's move on though. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I don't understand people, because I've read comments where people are comparing it to Masters of Puppets. I'm like, to compare this record to any of the first 3 Metallica albums is just fucking sacrilege. It's like, give me a fucking break. Come on.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on now. Come on.
All right, next story. Aerosmith have officially announced their final tour. Going on. Does he have health issues? Because I don't follow Aerosmith. I like their old stuff, but after Pump, they lost me. I think Pump was the last good Aerosmith album. Everybody seems to like that Get a Grip. Okay, maybe Pump's the last great Aerosmith album, because that's a solid record. Get a Grip was very MTV. So I lost track with them. And after that, they were doing Don't Want to Miss a Thing all the time. That's all they were doing anymore. But they're going on their final tour. Joe Perry is coming back to fill in on that classic Aerosmith lead guitar sound. There's no Aerosmith without Perry. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. But they're getting rid of the fucking drummer. And I don't know if he did something or if he's sick or what.
Okay. I could give zero fucks, especially if Kramer ain't gonna be there. Or is it? Yeah, Joe, ain't that the drummer?
Yeah, I believe it. Joey Kramer. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an Aerosmith fan, especially the 70s stuff. The last good album to me, though, was Done with Mirrors. I know some people say Pump or Get a Grip or whichever one. There are some good songs in their 80s catalog, but most of it is when they started using outside writers.
You said Done with Mirrors, because I like Done with Mirrors a lot.
Right, I do, yeah. But Done with Mirrors was the last true Aerosmith album. And what I mean by that is it was the original members and they wrote their own songs. After that, they started using outside writers for bullshit like fucking hate it. Hated it then.
I like that song.
Fucking hate that song. I hate most of 80s Aerosmith. Can't stand it. I don't
fucking love it. Love it.
Just threw up in my mouth. Jesus Christ. Most of their 80s shit is shit.
Timeline. My first dance with a girl was to Angel.
I'm sorry, man.
It's 1987, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, okay.
It's school, man.
All right, that's cool. Fine, whatever.
The first time getting an over the hand rub job.
And I might be being a bit. I mean, look, there's some 80s songs I do like. Living on the Edge reminds me of older school Aerosmith. There's some songs I listen to and I'm like, okay, that reminds me of their older stuff, like their 70s stuff, I should say. But I've never seen Aerosmith live. I would have been tempted to go to this tour just because I've never seen them live, even though I know they're going to play a lot of shit I don't like. Unfortunately.
Yeah, those ballads.
Yeah, they're going to do all that 80s crap, and most of it I don't like.
No, they're going to do that 90s and 2000s shit after Armageddon came out. And yes, that was the 90s.
Yeah, well, it sucked too. So, yeah, so I don't,
I'll take Janie's Got a Gun
now I like
all
Janie's
day
Got
long.
a Gun. What album is that off of?
Pump.
Pump. Yeah, that's the one a lot of people always point to. Pump. And
I think that's the last great Aerosmith.
And I do like Janie's Got a Gun for a lot of reasons. One, it's a very dark song.
Got Young Lust. I mean, dude, that's a good album.
But if Joey's not going to be there, well, that bothers me. And I've seen the Black Crowes already, so I don't know. I'll probably have to set this one out, which does bum me out because I've never seen Aerosmith live. And from what I can see and hear, Steven Tyler still has it. I don't know what's going on with this Joey Kramer stuff. It's like all of a sudden he's not in favor anymore. It's like they're pushing him out. I don't know. Unless he can't do it anymore, like physically do it, I don't know what the problem is. I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't read the story. I just saw it. You know, Aerosmith announced his final tour with Black Crowes opening and no Joey Kramer, and I'm like, what? But dude, if they come around, like I'll travel to Atlanta. That's 5.5 hours away.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Black Crowes are worth. They're worth going to see. You should go see them. They're great. Aerosmith.
Black Crowes.
Well, I mean, come on, dude. That doesn't bother you that Joey's not going to be there?
How many bands have I had to see without their original members?
That's one thing, though, that Aerosmith's always been able to brag on, dude. Other than that one time they broke up and there's that one record, they have basically had all the original members. And now they're doing that bullshit. And I don't know. I mean, that would bother me a little bit. I don't know. I'll talk to Bill. We'll see. He might want to go because neither one of us has seen Aerosmith. But I'm just worried that I'm going to hear a bunch of fucking, I hate that shit. I don't want to pay fucking old card. If they're going to play their 70s catalog, I'm down. But that's not going to happen. Let's just be honest.
See, I'm good with the whole catalog except for that 90s stuff. I don't need to hear anything post Get a Grip.
Yeah, God.
And even Get a Grip, I don't need to hear much of. I don't need to hear Crying or the other one that sounded exactly the same, Amazing. I don't need to hear that shit. I don't give a fuck. But to see him live, I've never seen him. I went and saw Merciful Fate, and you have the one person that's already dead in that band. And then when Becky Baldwin came in, because the other guy had to go off and do his other thing, But guess what? I got to see King Diamond, and I got to hear Merciful Fate songs. So
and you still have some of the original members in that band. So yeah, I get it, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I don't know. A part of my problem is I'd have to
see, like, who is it? It's either Foreigner. Foreigner's got no original members in the band.
And I could care less about seeing Foreigner. I would not go see them.
But that's what I'm saying. But
I like Foreigner, but that's in this. I mean, they're okay. They had some cool. I'm a casual Foreigner fan. Okay,
I am too. I'm just using them as an example.
Yeah, everybody uses some examples because that's the one. That's the go-to because
Leonard Skinner. You know they're going to tour again.
And you know what? I won't go see him.
Right.
Because it's not Leonard Skinner. Okay. Sorry. I just, and here's the other thing. Yeah, there's other bands that have lineup changes. I get that. So I don't want to sound like it's just, here's my biggest. Okay. Tell you what, Bush, I'll be fair. I love the Black Crowes. They were amazing live. I'm going to find out what Aerosmith's playlist is. And if it's songs that I want to hear played live, I might just go. But I have a bad feeling it's going to be a lot of schlock. It's going to be a bunch of Desmond Child fucking bullshit. And I hate that motherfucker. Okay.
I know you do.
Okay. Sorry, Chris, Aaron. I know you interviewed him and everybody loves but Desmond Child sucks huge demon cock. He has ruined so many bands. He ruined Rat. He ruined Kiss. Stick to writing with Bon Jovi, you bitch. Leave fucking cool bands alone. Anyway.
Oh, man. Next story. Fucking Motley Crue and Mick Mars.
Oh, boy. God. I'm already tired of hearing about this shit.
There's so much drama going on there. And it's like you got to pick sides. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to believe. And then apparently they played the draft party. I didn't see it because I don't ever watch the draft anyway. Yes, I'm a huge football fan, but I'm strictly a pro fan. I know none of these college players. When they get fucking brought in, I've got to look them up and watch their highlight reel. Okay, I don't care about the fucking draft. How did that go? Did you see that?
I watched the draft, but I didn't watch that. I'm glad I missed it because I'm sure it sucked. Dude, I just don't care anymore.
Awesome.
I just don't give a fuck. Like I'm to the point, you know, I mean, come on, dude. I'm a first 2 Motley Crue albums guy anyway. And then after that, there's like a cool song here or there and lots of filler as far as I'm concerned. So why would I give a fuck? Why would I give a fuck? Now, do I think they're being dicks to Mick? Do I think Nicky's being a dick? Yeah, but what else is new? Nikki Sixx is a fucking prick, man. He's a fucking scumbag. So again, I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't want to sound harsh, but I don't care. Just like fucking Ricky Gervais said at the fucking, I don't care. I just don't care, man. I really don't. So I don't really have a lot to add on to it because here's the thing. I'm kind of with our friend Dr. Fuck on this one. It's like, everybody wants to, Team Mick. Well, look, I remember Team Mick going, well, I'll fucking buy everybody a ticket if Motley Crue gets back together. Fucking shut up, Mick. Just all y'all, just stop. Just stop, man. I mean, Motley Crue kissed integrity goodbye when they did Theater of Pain. Bam, mic dropped. Okay, I'm done. That's it.
Wow, I really like that.
I know you
My
do.
whole take on it is, this is where I'm going to be that guy that says, first of all, it's not Motley Crue without Mick Mars because he wrote all those riffs. It's that guitar tone. I don't give a fuck how good a guitar player John Five is. It's not Motley Crue. Motley Crue is also one of those bands that have only enjoyed success with those 4 guys. Even though the Karabi album was fucking amazing, it wasn't a Motley Crue album. You know what I mean? And I think that's why
I agree with that.
You know, it's an amazing record. I think that New Tattoo is a good record. You know, there's several. I like more off of that album than I like off of this new Metallica album. You know, but Randy Castillo on drums, that's not Motley Crue. And then the one time they had the female, you know, it doesn't work without those 4 guys. And I'm not necessarily Team Mick, but I'm kind of team, what are you actually going after? I saw a comment that said he's not trying to get 25% of the tour revenue because he's getting fucked.
He just wants his royalty.
He wants his 25% stake.
And he deserves that. He's earned that. He's earned that. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think Mick has every right to sue the fucking supreme piss out of them. And I hope he wins. So in that respect, yes, I'm on Team Mick. But as far as like, I don't care.
You don't care because you're not a Crue fan. Post shout.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I'm a guy that likes most of their records, and I like most of the tracks on most of those records.
Well, look, Bushy, don't get me wrong. I'm always going to root for them because I have a lot of fond memories of those first 2 records, and even the songs off Theater of Pain that I like, you know. But I've always wanted them. I would love for Crue to come back and just do, but it's not. Again, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Their best days have been behind them a long time ago, and it's like.
Vince doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, and Mick is sick, and it's to me, it's again though, Motley Crue is one of those big fucking mysteries to me. It's like the Bermuda Triangle, or even how Metallica can put out whatever bullshit and still sell millions of albums. Motley Crue kind of have the same thing, man. It's like no matter what they do, people just adore them, and they are by far, even though I had somebody say, well, what about Guns N' Roses? They're from the West Coast Sunset Strip scene. And that was my good friend Charles. I said, but here's the difference, Charles. This is something that I'm going to give Motley Crue that I can't give Guns N' Roses, believe it or not. Motley Crue never quit. Motley Crue didn't take how many goddamn years between albums to record. Now, I don't care if you like Chinese Democracy or not. That's not the point. The point is, how long did it take him to release that fucking record, man? You know what Motley Crue was doing that whole time? putting out records. It might not always been the original band, but they were putting out stuff. They were still touring. They were still doing it. You got to give that to them. You can't take that away from them, man.
Sure.
So see, there you go. I said something nice about Motley Crue. So, you know, and that's the, you know, like I don't understand why Guns N' Roses.
These things about Poison too, and let's be honest, Poison tried it with a couple different guitarists, didn't work. Same four guys still doing it. So
yeah,
we can at least admit that. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of Team Mick because that motherfucker helped build that band and that sound.
Well,
no matter what album it was, that guitar tone, you know, that's fucking Mick Mars.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
And he's always my favorite member of the band. I liked Mick best.
And one of the great underrated blues guitar players of our time, I might add.
Well, that's because he was in a metal band, a glam metal band. He wasn't in a fucking blues band. So there you go. People aren't going to give him that credit that they should.
Thank you. Brought me a beer. That's right. So yeah, kind of Team Mick, kind of don't give a fuck. I didn't watch that draft bullshit because I'm like, am I curious to see how John 5 does? Of course, because he's fucking brilliant. We'll see. Nikki Sixx says they're writing new music, so maybe even a new Motley Crue album, which is a dick slap across Mick's face. I'm not a fan of that. But I'm not going to lie. I'll listen to it.
Oh, I know you will.
Yeah, I'll listen to it. Metal Mike, what's your story? You got a story for us.
Yeah. Well, you know, as anybody knows, they know I'm a big, huge thrash metal fan enthusiast. And one of my all-time favorite old school thrash metal bands, and Ralph just did a recent interview with him. He's also been on Zetro, you know, the singer for Steve's Zetro from Exodus. Has been on his podcast. Forbidden is reborn. They're not calling it a reunion because the original singer, Russ Anderson, is not part of it, but they have his blessing. The reason why, and Craig said he didn't really see this coming because he's like, once Russ said, I'm done, to me, there's no Forbidden without Russ Anderson. And he was like, that was it. But what ended up happening is because they were doing this, this event where it was all these different thrash metal bands, some of them newer, some of them older, but they were doing each other's songs. I forget what the event was actually called. It was called Thrashter. Oh fuck, I'm not seeing it here, but it was an event, and he and like I said, you had all these different bands, and this guy named Norman Skinner, who's kind of known in the Bay Area. He's apparently got a great set of pipes. He's very much been a part of that scene, but he never got into a band that made it to the big time, if you will. And he went up and joined him. He did one song with Warbringer that was a Forbidden song, and then he did another one with them. And eventually what happened is, let's see here. Yeah. Right here it says right here, fast forward, when Russ informed the band that he couldn't tour anymore because of the physical toll it was taking on him. With that, the band dissolved once again for 11 years. Fast forward to 2023, the once improbable and impossible happened. Forbidden is reforming with new blood. Los Cicero Camacho, which he's an original member, and Smith remained from the Omega Wave lineup. Or not original, but yeah, from the Omega Wave lineup. New vocalist Norman Skinner will take the elite position that belonged to Russ Anderson. Norman shocked everyone who witnessed his performance of Chalice at Blood with L.A. Thrashers Warbringer, which, by the way, that band fucking rules. I saw them with fucking Cavalera, and they're great. Accompanying him as the band. It was undeniable in all to attendance. Norman grew up in the Bay Area. His first thrash metal show was seen Forbidden at the Omni. Russ would point to Norman and show at each show and call him Little Russ on the mic. It could only be Norman Skinner that stands aside the band. The Bay Area thrash punk drum legend Chris Kontos takes over the drum throne. And a long line of world-renowned drummers, Kontos is the most logical and qualified man for the job. Bostoff, who's now was with Slayer, probably going to be in Kerry Keen's new band. Jacobs,
Right.
Hoagland, and we all know Gene Hogland's a fucking amazing drummer. Hernandez, horn, world-class talents, now Cantos. So yeah, basically it's a rebirth. They got offered to do a couple of tours. It's not a reunion. They have Russ's blessing because Russ is a recovering alcoholic.
Right.
And he can't, he's got some health problems and he just couldn't do it. Like I said, he told him in 2011, I think it was, that he was done. It was just too much physical, so then, to give him credit, he's had this whole other band called Dress the Dead that have a female singer, very Sabbath-like, very doom metal-y, nothing like Forbidden, but still fucking awesome. So
Nice.
yeah, he was not seeing this coming, but apparently they're getting back together. They're going to do a tour. I guess they're even going to do a new album. So as a longtime Forbidden fan, I am very excited. If you're not familiar with them, the best way I could describe them is if Judas Priest were a thrash metal band, they would be Forbidden. Have you ever heard any of their stuff, Bush?
I've not heard anything. I've never.
Well, I'm
even
going to
heard
send
of
you
this.
their stuff. I'm going to send
that.
you their whole discography so you can check it out, man. These
Do
guys,
that.
especially the first two records, are fucking phenomenal, man. Forbidden,
Nice.
Evil, and Twisted in a Form are just amazing albums. I think you'll
That's
dig.
awesome. That's awesome. Good shit going on in the metal world right now. Apparently Ozzy's going to be playing a show after announcing his retirement. He's still going to be doing a show.
Well, he just said he wasn't going to tour
so-
anymore. See, I've
Yeah.
read between the lines there. I'm like,
You
he's
had
not
to.
going to, and
You
he's
had
still going to do records, I think.
Yeah, he'll do records and he might do shows every here now and again. So, excuse me, that's definitely awesome. So we got Forbidden on the road. We got Aerosmith with the Black Crowes on the road. We got Motley Crue, maybe making new music, and we have Metallica doing a cool. Now here's the thing: they're doing a cool tour where
I'm
every
going to
show
that.
is 2 nights, and both nights are different set lists. That's pretty badass. They're not coming close enough to me.
Me and
I
Bill
think
decided to
closest
go.
they're coming is Nashville, and
Me and
fuck,
Bill are
that's
going in November of this year, and we're going. I just feel like, because I've not seen Metallica since the Justice for All tour, Bush.
Oh wow! See, I've never. Ooh, excuse me, I've never seen them.
And I just felt like. Also, you got the Pantera tribute. They're one of the opening bands, and also Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang Van Halen.
Yeah.
Mammoth is going to be there too, and that's the first show. And then the second show is Five Finger Death Punch, and then a band called Ice Nine. Yeah, Ice Nine Kills or Nine. Yeah, something like that. I'm not familiar with them. But
I know the name of the band. I've never listened to their music. It's probably something we should check out instead of being old curmudgeons.
Hey, I listen to new music. I turn you on to stuff all the time. You've even been playing it on your show.
And I got to say, Five Finger is one of those bands that I hated. And I'm like, wait a second. First of all, I love the lead singer's fucking dedication to the goddamn veterans. Fucking rule
that
for
whole
them.
band, they literally have been over there and entertained the troops, man.
Yes.
You ever listen to him do the "No One Gets Left Behind"? The soldiers go when he goes, "No one gets left behind." They go, "Hoorah!" It's pretty badass, man.
The only band I know that's toured the troops more than anybody else is Drowning Pool. They're over there all the fucking time touring the troops. And
I think it's great that they do that.
Hell yeah. And I've seen Drowning Pool with every singer except the new one. Because of course the guy died, a heroin overdose on the bus. But I saw him when I saw Stained and Crazy Town and shit, on their first tour. Stained was headlining with their second record. I saw him with their second singer. If you want to step up, you're going to get knocked down. I've seen him with every fucking singer. And the long-haired guy that did the song Soldiers, who, yeah, this is for the soldiers, who, yeah. Because the Marines say, oorah, and the Army says, hoo. And I got to tell you, man, when they did that song, they brought a bunch of 10th Mountain Division soldiers up on stage. The whole crowd was loaded with soldiers and veterans. It's fucking amazing. I love these guys that do that. Five Finger, I have found out, is much heavier than their covers.
Oh yeah. I'll give them that. Like,
much better band than I thought they were.
Well, here's my thing about Five Finger. I had a buddy of mine. It's like, hey, you gotta check these guys out. So I bought the first 2 records.
Right.
and I liked them, but I got to admit, the first time I heard them, I was like, I hear Pantera, but kind of watered down a little bit. And I still stand by that assessment of those first two records. But my nephew Kane, he's really likes them a lot, and he kept getting their records. And so I had not been, I kind of tuned out on them. I was like, they're all right. And he kept telling me, he's like, dude, you really need to listen to more of their stuff. They're not really Pantera clones anymore. And when I went to see them live, because I went to see Megadeth, as I told you that story before, and I was pretty impressed with them. Not only did they sound good, but they almost, again, you're probably going to hate me on it, I almost got a power metal-y vibe. And what I mean by that is a lot of your power metal has rah-rah shit to it, especially a band like Sabaton, where they're all singing along and they're all, it's all like
love it,
rah-rah, rah-rah metal is what I call it. And I have nothing against that. But they were pretty cool. And then when I told you, when he brought out
power metal so much because it's got so much keyboards laid under it, man. And I'm an 80s guy.
Yeah.
I like that keyboard thing. And power metal, it's so fast. It's wicked heavy, but the guys are singing so melodically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. And thank God for Dragon Force, through the fire and the flames, because that's what got me into power metal.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Kane, he loves that stuff, man.
Oh, hell yeah. His whole show is power metal for the most part.
Well, it was. Yeah. He's going to be changing gears here in the future, though, when he comes back on. But he's still going to play power metal. It just won't be all power metal. But anyway, man. So my opinion on Five Finger Death Punch has changed somewhat. Now, are they like my top tier bands? No, but here's the thing. Also, I want to throw out there. There's something else I want to throw out there, though. The whole place was full, and it wasn't just Megadeth fans. There was people there to see Five Finger. There was people, believe it or not, that were even there to see the Who, HU guys, the Mongolian metal band.
HU, Mongolian metal. They're great.
Yeah, they're fucking cool, dude. They are cool. It's weird as fuck, but I dig it, man. In fact, I think these motherfuckers have totally created their own subgenre because
some throat singing going on in there.
It is. It's Mongolian music. It's Mongolian metal. It really is Mongolian metal. So, but I don't know if you know this, but they just redid one of their songs with Willem Daval, the singer of Alice in Chains.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. But anyway, and then of course Five Finger, man. I mean, to see that many young people with the devil horns, and they were into it, man, and they enjoyed Megadeth too. I mean, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing? I mean, if a metal band's, even if it's a band you're not really into, I still think, well, because those kids that are listening to that band, eventually they will listen to other bands. It's inevitable. I think Five Finger is one of those bands. It's a good gateway band for young people.
Like Kiss wasn't.
Exactly. And guess what? There was a lot of people that turned. I mean, dude, I got fucking picked on for liking Kiss when I was a little kid. And while they were bullying me, I'm like going, but kind of a similar story to Ralph. Only with Ralph, I think they pulled his shirt over his head and they were slapping his stomach really hard. With me, they gave me a wedgie, man.
Wow.
You were these junior high kids, and I was a little kid.
When I became a Kiss fan, it was the 80s, and metal was king.
And then they're all smacking me, and they're picking me up, and they're smacking me and telling me I'm a little bitch and a fag, and and I'm literally crying, going, but I like Sabbath and Zeppelin too. Like, I didn't understand why and then what happened was my musical mentor, who lived across the street from me, Kevin Barnes, when he found out what they did to me, he was in high school, and these were junior high students. Where were they? Shit. So he gets me in his car, and I fucking point him out to him, and he gets out of his car, and Kevin was a real tall guy, like you, real tall, and he scared oh, I like Kiss. Am I a bitch? He started smacking around. How's it feel, huh? You like being smacked around and picked on for your musical taste?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, he fucking roughed him up. And and to him, he was bullying them kids, but it's the same thing. It's like he is to them what they were to me, because I was just a little grade schooler and they were junior high. They were middle school, man. They were a lot bigger and stronger than me. And Kevin's like, how's it feel to get picked on? How's it feel to get pushed around over a fucking band that you like? You know? And he goes, oh, by the way, I like Zeppelin, and he told him, he goes, I like all this, man, but I like Kiss too, you bitches.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's crazy because I didn't grow up in that era. I got into Kiss in what, 83?
Yeah.
Now I got 70s Kiss in 83, but when I was back in the States, Crazy Nights was the album that dropped that year.
Sure. Sure.
That's my shit too, but so I didn't have to deal with the bullying and such.
Right.
People would look at me like, Kiss. I do remember in third grade though, when my dad brought those albums, and they were so good that our gym teacher would let a different student every day bring in an album, and he put it on a turntable, and while we were doing our gym stuff, he would play the record. And I had made the mention, I'm gonna bring in my Kiss record. I remember, dude, to this day, I remember this little chubby little girl, excuse me, looking at me and saying, if you bring that Kiss record in, I'm not going to be able to play in gym because Kiss stands for Knights of Satan's Service, and I cannot listen to that. Dude, they were true fucking story. And I was like, and this is the 80s.
I know, but dude, that was in the 70s and the 80s.
Oh, it was. And I just kind of looked at it like, what the fuck? But that's like my dad would say, and he loved AC/DC. He went and saw AC/DC on my Facebook wall somewhere. I mean, you may have to search back. My dad shared with me the concert picture or poster, a picture of the poster that he and my mom went to. It was The Who, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, and I forget what the other two bands were, man. But you talk about a stellar fucking show that he went to and witnessed in Nuremberg, Germany, dude. That is so fucking badass.
That is badass.
Especially when I think of my dad through my high school years saying you only listen to that shit to piss me off, forgetting the fact that he gave me my first two Kiss records. Before that, I was listening to Conway Twitty.
That is kind of funny about that.
Bee Gees and shit,
That is hilarious because, straight up, dude. Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
It's fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Because you're like, Dad, you're the guy that birthed this, man.
You introduced it to me. My Black Sabbath ACD, or not Black Sabbath ACDC, my ACDC Back in Black was because he had a cassette. I remember having that cassette, and I took it from my dad. I'm like, ACDC Back in Black. I'm sorry, there's a baby here.
That's all good, dude.
And I remember putting it in the cassette player, and I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't say, what the hell is this? Because I didn't even think of speaking the way I speak today. But holy shit, kind of like you with thrash metal. When you first heard thrash metal, what are my ears hearing? Because I had Kiss and Kiss Alive, and I hadn't really heard anything else other than that.
Sure. And how old were you?
In 83, I was 8.
There you
go.
So
by 86, I'm 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hear AC/DC, and I'm like, holy fuck. And it was Back in Black. Of course, it was the start of the Brian Johnson era. I knew nothing of Bon Scott or any of that shit. I didn't know that shit.
Right.
So I was just like, holy hell. And it's funny because vocally, Brian Johnson has such an odd voice. His phrasing, his tonality. I was like, is this a black guy? Because we said black back then, people. We didn't say African American. So I was just like, is this a black guy? This is really heavy, because I was used to Michael Jackson and Prince and things of that nature. Dude, my whole mind was blown when I heard NWA. I was like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, I was blown away by that stuff. Lots of great tours happening this summer, man. If you can get out there and find your favorite band, find a band you've never seen, get out there, see them, see Forbidden, see fucking Aerosmith. Who else we got going on tour this year? We got Metallica doing a crazy fucking tour. Go check all that shit out. See Motley Crue.
I'm going to see Death Angel next Sunday.
Awesome. Loving the Death Angel, by the way. I play them a lot on my show now.
Yeah, Death Angel's great, man. They are.
Loving that shit. So we're here tonight because we haven't been here in 2 or 3 weeks. Now, for those of you that are going to watch this on YouTube, because this will be up well before I get the episode edited, you're not going to hear the interview. But we're here to talk about our amazing interview with this guy right here. The fucking maestro from Twisted Sister, Eddie Fingers Ojeda. How cool was that experience, Metal Mike?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, there's a picture that my friend Jason Reith, took of us while we were interviewing. And I'm just, well, both of us are just grinning ear to ear. If somebody would have told 12, 13-year-old Mike, hey, man, one of these days you're going to interview this guy and you're going to meet him, I'd have been like, you're high. It's never going to happen, And yeah, he couldn't have been a nicer guy.
For
Really,
real.
yeah, just a really cool, down to earth guy. Loved hearing his stories. Loved, yeah, it was a great interview, man. I can't really say anything more about it than that. It's just really cool. And I got him to sign a few albums for me. Not all of them were mine, much to the chagrin of my podcast co-host
This
here.
motherfucker, dude. What was the biggest thing at RockNPod last year? Everybody kept coming up to me. I've got to get a picture of this jacket because my battle vest, my back patch, is a Twisted Sister logo, and it's the logo from what? Not Under the Blade, Can't Stop Rock and Roll. So It's got the pink all around it and shit. Dude, that's my fucking back patch. Twisted Sister is probably my number 2 band behind Kiss. I love this fucking band. I was so stoked, and I was like, I'm gonna get Eddie to sign my back patch.
You should have.
And I brought like 4 records. But then Metal Mike breaks out 4 records. I'm like, fuck, just sign this live record. Now, the one cool thing when I brought out that Twisted Sister live at the Hammersmith is Eddie's looking at the record. He's like, holy fuck, I forgot this was a double album. I thought that was great. Because the other thing is that was only released on CD. I went through Discogs. It's some kind of a weird repressing, and it was never released on vinyl. You know what I mean? It was fucking awesome. So I'll bust your balls because I really wanted him to sign my back patch like bad. But you had those 4 albums, and I had Under the Blade and Can't Stop Rock and Roll and Stay Hungry and Come On and Play on my jacket. I'm like, just sign the live record. So maybe I bitched out a little bit.
Yeah, I would say you totally bitched out, but that's me. You did bring a lot of records though, and I guess so did I. But in my defense, 2 of them were not for me. Only one was, and
right.
I had to get some signed for my twin brother. I mean, had to.
Oh yeah. Well, we love Metal Mark.
And I had to hook my friend Kelly's husband up because Kelly's the one that got me my gig at Bria Valton as the infection preventionist. So.
It was a great time, and I really hope you guys enjoy this interview. Like with the BB Buell interview, you have to understand there's a lot going on. So sound quality is not going to be the best. I really loved Ralph and Ian's. Well, it's all Ian because Ian's so fucking funny. And Dr. Fuck will admit Wadzilla is the funnier guy. But when he was posting description, shitty sounding interviews. It's just the nature of the beast, guys. We're in a big room with a bunch of people. Believe it or not, these interviews sound way better than the last
year's.
Right.
Yeah, last year's was fucking awful. Yeah. So, yeah.
They were. We had a lot of fun. Eddie was open. He'd answer anything. He went into his stories. It was a lot of fun. I still say the BB Buell was the best interview we did just because of me. Like, I did not want to do that interview. I wanted nothing to do with it because of that day. And that's why I probably say it's the best interview we had. But this is a great fucking interview. Yes. We had a lot of fucking Eddie.
For sure.
And Eddie made Bushy look like a dick because I'm sitting here praising something and he's like, yeah, I wasn't part of it. So wait till you hear that. Bushy looking like a dumbass talking to the great Eddie Ojeda.
Is that really that unusual?
Yes, motherfucker. It's unusual.
You left yourself wide open, dude.
I did. All right, here it is. This is our interview at the 2023 Nashville RockNPod Expo with the great Eddie Fingers Ojeda from Twisted Fucking Sister. Now, all you people that are watching this, you're not going to hear the fucking interview. You're going to have to go listen to the episode. So go and do that.
Right on.
That was our interview with Eddie Ojeda. Thought it went fucking great.
Yeah, I did too, man. I think most of our interviews went really, really well. And like I said, Eddie, just a total class act, really nice guy.
For real.
Real cool dude.
He probably would have signed everything. If we'd have brought out everything, look, we want these 8 or 9 records signed in and the backpack.
He probably would have.
Yeah.
Even though there were some people who were attendants that kind of got pissy because when they went to his booth, he was expecting to be paid for his autograph. But I'm like, but guys, he's trying to make a living here, man. It ain't like it was in the old days where they make money from their music. They don't do that anymore. Just
see, when I was at that first RockNPod by myself as a podcaster, I didn't think that way. So I had the Michael Sweet interview. So I should have been able to get a picture and, you know, get my record signed there. Instead, I went to his booth, paid $20 to get my 2 albums signed and get the picture with him. It still got a picture with me, him, and Ralph afterwards. You know, he probably would have signed all that for me. The point is, these guys, they go and they're trying to make some money as well, you know. So yes, you sign for autographs. $20, get 2 or 3 things signed and a picture. Fuck you. Quit crying, bitch. Take a time out of their day to come entertain you. You pay a lot more than that to go see him.
that's true. That is true.
God bless Robert Smith of The Cure because he's sticking it right to those fucking ticket sellers.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, go look that up. Robert Smith, dude, that Ticketmaster shit and all those extra fees. No, you ain't having it. Of The Cure. That's right, Ralph Vieira, a.k.a. Dr. Fuck.
All right.
Robert Smith of The Cure is leading the charge against Ticketmaster. Suck it.
All right. All right. Well, good for Robert Smith.
Yeah. That's awesome. Got to see him. I'm still waiting for the next album. No, the Eddie Ojeda thing, man, that was great. It was a childhood wet dream. The only thing that would be better is to talk to D.
Yeah.
You know, that's the mouth, even though, yeah, no, that's the mouth, dude. That's Twisted Sister right there.
Well,
D's
yeah,
not.
it's, you know.
Great entertainment. Eddie Ojeda, great guy, man. The only guy that was on like every record.
Yes.
Because there were some changes on the Love Is for Suckers, or was it not Eddie Ojeda on that one? Man, I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
I thoroughly enjoyed fucking talking to that guy, man. And
for real, yeah.
Spent 10, 15 minutes with him was really, really cool.
Yeah, and he took pictures with us and just a total class act, man. Cool dude.
Oh yeah. Good guy.
We should have had him do a sound pipe for the podcast and our radio shows, but oh well.
I think we were a little I know I was kind of googly eyed and starstruck.
I was too. I mean, like I said, I was grinning I felt like a little kid again, man. It was cool.
Hell yeah. See, people say don't meet your heroes, and I'm like, every time I have, it's been a good experience. So I'm
right.
Metal Mike, man, let's get out of here. I got to go party. I got to get drunk.
All right, man. That's cool, man. Have fun. Happy birthday.
Anything to plug?
Not really. I think I said earlier, they Watch Us from the Moon. Their album's coming out May 12th. Make sure you check it out. You will be hearing the interview here on this podcast. And I think my brother is planning on doing an audio-visual version of it. So hopefully we can use that and just put it on the podcast, as well as the YouTube station for the radio station as well. And just keep fighting the good fight and stay metal, folks.
Hell yeah.
And check out that metalstation.com.
Hell yeah. Especially every other Saturday when there's this guy on Bushy, 10 a.m. Eastern.
And every Friday night when there's a dude named DJ Metal Mike that fucking kills it. Hello. You
should listen to my show more, dude. I'm telling you.
I will. Stuff. Are you going to be on this Saturday?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll try to make it, man.
I'm taking phone calls now. People can call in because I love this soundboard. I've had Miss Kitten, Jackie Del Vecchio on the radio show. I've had Charles Trainer on the radio show. I've had
Nice.
Taylor on the fucking radio show. Yeah, you can call in and talk to Bushy, man, and I'll talk
Cool.
fucking 20 minutes or so. I don't care.
Right on, man. Cool.
Real easy to set up a show because you only need like 2 or 3 blocks.
Right. Well,
Only thing I want to plug is this Black Sabbath album I got at Walmart, man. The Ultimate Collection. It's really fucking good, especially if you're a casual, and I mean very casual, Black Sabbath fan like I was. Most of the stuff I know is from those few albums that I own and have listened to more than once. You know what I mean?
right.
But it's all Aussie era shit. I really fucking dig it. And for a casual fan, you will not be disappointed. Fucking miss you.
Remember the Sabbath and keep it black, motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah. All right. I'm out. This is Bushy. That's Metal fucking Mike. That's my brother. That's Eddie Fingers Ojeda. Hope you guys had a good time. Like I said, if you're listening to this on YouTube, take your ass to the Podbean channel. I'll put it down in the damn comment link thingy in the description. That's what it is, the description.
And we're on iTunes too.
We're on
right?
well, we're everywhere.
Apple, whatever the fuck it is.
Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, or iTunes. Podbean is our home site. For now, you guys get our numbers up. We can go to a different site. Maybe we can make our own webpage.
That'd be
help us
cool.
out. We're way
I could have my
than,
brother help us build it.
Yes. And we're better than Mark Alden Taylor. He just cries. We're not going to cry. Love you, Mark. Motherfuckers, buy vinyl. We'll see you next week.